All right, welcome to the third review of the evening. Up this time is Warhammer Dakka Squadron, Warhammer 40,000 Dakka Squadron FLYBOYZ edition. A game of many names. Anyway, Dakka Squadron is a fast-paced aerial shooter where you are an orc flyboy taking to the skies to do what orcs do best: fight. Fly across alien worlds against insane odds, blasting away with your super shooters to destroy enemy air forces and ground targets, while unlocking new weapons and upgrading your plane to be the most dead kitty flyboy in the sky. Choose an orc clan and customize your jet to augment your playstyle. Fly Dakka jets, Burna Boomas, and Blitzabombers. Equip them with an array of guns, bombs, and missiles. Learn special maneuvers and uncover your Dakka and test your mettle against your fellow flyboys in deathmatch multiplayer mode against deadly enemies in the campaign. Right, so we specifically got the Switch version of this game, and, well, over to Galax for the details.
So yeah, this is pretty much a objective-based military-style flight simulator along the lines of, say, the Rogue Squadron games or something like that. Only with, Warhammer 40k orcs, which, if you know anything about that, that says a lot about the amount and type of personality in the game. And if you don't, well, the orcs are basically football/soccer hooligans. They're very loud. They believe that painting things different colors changes their attributes, and they have like a psychic thing that actually makes that work.
And a lot of their stuff is bullshit and imagination.
Yeah, all of the dialogue and names in this are going to be presented in that way. Even the proper names of skills and equipment and stuff. You don't have a secondary weapon implement. You have the other blaster or something. What was the exact name?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I was wrong about that. It's Gun Station 2 and Gun Station 1, but Station is STASHUN and 1 is WUN, so... Yeah. They spelled 2 right for some reason. And you do have... So you are dropped in the scenario, you get objectives beforehand, and you fly around shooting things until you complete the scenario, or you get more enemies. Or you get another wave of whatever objective. If you tap the A button, it quote-unquote locks on to the nearest thing, unless you have weapons that you don't have at the start of the game that possibly have some kind of homing thing. This just means it tells you where that enemy is. Tapping left or right on the D-pad is a immediate 180, which is very useful because your maneuverability isn't amazing, at least at the start. You do earn better planes as well as better weapons as you play, but starting out, it's a little bit rough. There's a accelerate, decelerate. You do have overheating on your main guns if you fire them for too long straight. By default, you have 3 planes for the mission, though you can turn it down to only have 1, and if you do, you get more of the in-game currency that you use to unlock upgrades. So that's up to you. There is a dedicated ram button for when you are flying and locked onto someone and kind of near them, because it's orcs. They believe in ramming. I've always had a bit of a hard time dogfighting in games like this. I prefer to get some space and then come back and do another run, or to face unmoving emplacements. I found the steering a little bit janky. For one of the reasons for this is that left and right on the right stick are barrel rolls that effectively move you slightly horizontally one way or the other without turning, whereas there is no camera control per se because it's a flight simulator, but that's a me being used to it thing, I think. I couldn't find a rear view mode, if there is one, which would have been useful sometimes. But I suppose I would have just been flying into things even more if I'd done that. Yeah, honestly, the controls are kind of clunky, and the degree of invisible walling in the stay in the battlefield, like if you try to fly too high or out of the area, you'll get yelled at to go back to the battlefield, and everything will like turn monocolor. But sometimes I had a hard time getting back in because my turning was a little bit restricted.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not particularly fun. Also, well, that isn't even my serious. That's just some gameplay things. The biggest issues I had with this are I play with my Switch mostly in tabletop mode, which is the Switch on the desk. And this game, for a couple of reasons, was definitely designed to either be played on a bigger screen or particularly to be played on a PC. The menus are all mouse controlled, and mouse here means left stick and A button.
Like the point and click games we've been playing for so long.
Yeah, minus the right stick being a faster version, or letting you zoom in. Which is functional, but it's awkward, and then the text and options are all relatively small compared to the amount of like real estate they take up and how many options are on the screen at once. Also, Petty Fan might be able to corroborate this, but it seemed to me that both on initial game startup and on each mission startup, the loading time is like quite long.
Yeah, it is insane.
So for all of those reasons, I'm going to say, even if this game appeals to you, the Switch version is probably not the optimal way to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the control, like the actual flying around controls, like they're not terrible. They're serviceable, but the menu navigation is a pain in the ass. Also, the campaign, like you start out without much ability to customize stuff because you have to earn stuff. For the campaign, you go to different planets, and then you have to do a sequence of missions. You do start out with a second plane that is more durable but has less fuel, whatever that does.
I'm
but
guessing
it also can't
fuel is boost, because I've not noticed a time limit on flight.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can't ram with it though, and that's kind of an issue. Or at least you can't ram as well with it. It is a Doom Scythe and not a Death Claw. I believe this is stolen from one of the other factions in 40k and
probably
repainted and customized as
that's orcs like 70% of the orcs deal is they steal other factions stuff.
Okay. Yes, it is a Necron fighter.
Live research.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know anything about the other ones because I did not get far enough to unlock anything else. Which yes, so when I was first playing, when I was in the camp, you go to the campaign mode and you do it, and you have to, I believe, complete 4 missions on the first planet before it will let you actually spend any of the upgrade stuff you got. But when I quit and came back to it, it lets you change stuff around before you resume. So that's not a necessarily a complete you don't get to do it thing, or at least it seems like that.
Or you just found a bug.
Or I just found a bug. Anyway, there's no way in between missions to directly go back to the hangar and customize your ship. Which is a little bit frustrating because you do get these teeth and victory points for beating stages that go towards unlocking better guns and stuff. And, it would be nice to be able to upgrade the better stuff to equip the better stuff you've unlocked without having to do as many things.
Right.
Oh, each ship also allegedly has a special attack that you press the face button north for, X button on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that causes that to recharge or not.
Time.
It's just time? Okay,
just time.
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice a thing.
Yeah, it's
a lot
a
of the
cooldown.
time I would die and then it would come back, but that's because I died a lot. Because you don't have amazing maneuverability.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an okay game, but I wouldn't say it's a great game, and I don't think the Switch is the best way to play it.
There apparently is a
obviously
PC
be
demo.
more interested in it if you are interested in the orc aesthetic and way of doing business. Oh, you do also get to choose your pilot's orc clan, which changes the base paint job of your ship, which, as previously stated, has mechanical implications. But yeah, you get like buffs and penalties to various things based on that. I don't know if the voice clips change, but the voice clips are a little bit. Also, like when I won the mission, I would get the NPC yelling at me that I was leaving the battlefield area for like half of that voice clip. Before the actual "you succeeded" voice clip. So
it's a
the
bug
trigger points
that
for the
I've
voice
seen.
clips are not amazing.
Yeah.
I also got the "get out there for another go" voice clip once when I was out of lives, which sorry, but I don't have that option.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's clunky, but it's not like absolutely terrible. Aside from the fact that the Switch is not the best place to play it, and it came up a little bit between things. But Adam, price-wise, is a significant factor on the determination for this, I believe.
It is $30 on the Nintendo Switch, which is $10 more than the PC version.
So yeah, that especially 20 is. I mean, I don't know how many missions there are in this. Maybe there's a lot.
If this was better optimized, $20 maybe.
$20 is upper edge of what I would play for this if it has a decent amount of playtime in it.
Yeah. Decent amount of playtime and a better
30
port.
is much more than I would actually pay, I think.
And I guess to note, the PC version does have a demo if you want to try that. So, but definitely avoid the Switch version. Is what at least the general vibe I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I don't think this is the best way to play it, especially with the loading issues and the menus. But yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot else to say.
That's fine. there isn't really a whole lot here.
Do you guys have any questions or comments?
I'm good.
Not I.
And the music is serviceable.
Okay. All right, then. I think that will about do it for this game. Be sure to tune in after the break as we talk about Hexarchy.